Man, my thermoregulation system is just broken. Today it was 70 something degrees outside, and I had my space heater on in my office. And I got home and I ate a cold salad, handling cold ingredients from the fridge. And by the time I finished eating my cold salad, I was very cold. And sitting in my 74-degree house with like sweatpants, long sleeves, and a blanket on the couch. And then I decided to run, and I put on my Gore-Tex running shoes with my running clothes. And because my feet can't breathe in Gore-Tex running shoes, I almost overheat. My feet were as pink as those really cheap hot dogs you get. I don't get because I'm vegetarian, but you know, those really cheap pink hot dogs that some people buy. But anyway, I guess my thermometer is just broken. But yeah, so I was thinking about hint dropping and where did that even originate? I wonder. How did people come to think that that is a good way to ask for what they want? That doesn't seem like a very good way to go about getting things to me. And the reason I was even thinking about this was because I saw some girl on social media screaming, "Why can't men understand hints?" And I thought, well, it's definitely not exclusive to men. I can't understand hints either. And I don't like it when people drop hints. And most of the time I'm oblivious, but if I do notice it, I get really aggravated and kind of stubborn about it. Like, well, I'm going to ignore that hint until they can just buck up and ask me whatever they want and directly communicate to me what they want. Or if I pick up on it and I don't want to do it, period, I won't. But I won't announce to them that I'm not doing the thing that they're hinting at. I just won't do it. So that made me think, so if people who hint drop think that it's okay to indirectly hint that they want something from someone and not directly tell them, and they still think that it's okay to get mad at that person for not giving them the thing that they want or doing what they want them to do, then by that logic, they should think that it's absolutely fine if the person they're hint dropping to hint drops to them that they don't want to do the thing by not doing the thing. It seems like it would be pretty evident to, if they don't do the thing, their answer was no. But yeah, like the girl that was screaming about that, she's basically operating on the assumption that they don't understand her hints, when it could very well be that they notice that she's hint dropping and they don't like that she's doing that and don't want to acknowledge that immature way of going about communicating, or they simply don't want to do the thing and aren't going to flat out tell her, since she won't flat out tell them what she wants. I don't blame them, since I might have been guilty of doing that once or twice. But also, I really am oblivious to hints a lot of the time. And I'm oblivious to innuendo also. And I'm also oblivious when I accidentally say something that could be perceived as that. So my second husband and I went on our first date, and in his interests thing online, he said he was interested in quantum physics. And I said that maybe on our date we could talk about entanglement. And if that had been on purpose, that would have been like one of the best, nerdiest come ons to someone ever. But it was accidental. I wish I could claim that that was on purpose, but it wasn't. And the most he could hope for on a first date is spooky action at a distance, not entanglement. So we had that after I realized what I said and how it could be perceived. I immediately straightened things out. But it was much later, like not before not after we met up, but it was before the date. But also, there have been times when I was kind of oblivious. When I was 15, I was at my dad's company picnic, and this older guy was talking to me, and he asked how old I was, and I told him 15, and he was like, "Oh, I thought you were 16." And I was like, "No, I wish I was." Meaning, because at that age, I could drive a car. And he's like, "I wish you were too." Now, folks, this guy was way too old to be hitting on anyone my age. 16-year-old, whatever. But that is the age of consent in a lot of states, which is absolutely mind-boggling to me, but that's the facts. So I thought, why does he care if I can drive a car? And I'm talking years later, I was thinking about that conversation and realized that dude had not a care in the world about whether or not I could drive a car. So that was one case of me, two cases where I'm oblivious to what I'm saying being perceived as innuendo, and the other, I'm oblivious to the other person hinting at something as well. But in a non-innuendo kind of situation, when a hint came up that I was oblivious to that could have gotten me perceived as insubordinate, I guess. I was working for this man, and he had, before me, had this 50s housewife type of assistant. And I'm way not 50s housewife type. And so so he's telling me about the things that she used to do for him, but like we've already gone over my job duties, and those are perfectly clear, lined up, they're in writing, my job duties. So he's like telling me, yeah, she used to water my plants for me. And I said, good thing I'm not, because I would kill him. Like, they'd be dead. And then he just like went back in his office, and I was like, oh, much later, oh my gosh, he probably thought I was being completely rude. But I'm not really good at caring for plants, or at least I wasn't then. I seem to be better now that I only have myself and my plants to care for. Think I can handle that much at least. But yeah, I don't do a great job of that. And I didn't want to become responsible for his plants, so I was kind of glad that I just accidentally stated it like that. But my first husband was a hint dropper and a test giver. So all of these little things on social media where people are testing their partners with these stupid little arbitrary tests, like the orange thing, and I can't remember, there was something else, and like the orange peel. I don't care. how much I love you, I'm probably not going to peel your orange for you because I can't stand the way it feels underneath my fingernails. So I might get a knife and cut it, but that's about it. Um, and then the other thing where they're testing things is like their competency in household chores. Well, maybe they're just way better at something else. But I hate those tests. And then people post, videos of them failing and humiliating them online. That's just so awful and abusive. And I just, it gives me such anxiety when I see that, because I did go through that where I was constantly being tested and I would never know if I was being tested or not. And I always failed. I never once passed one of his tests, always failed. And yeah, and hint dropping, I got better at noticing, but like at first I was totally oblivious, totally. And after him pointing out a few times that he dropped hints, I became on edge, and I was just like, what am I missing? What am I missing now? And what the did I miss this time? And it just made me a nervous wreck. So yeah, hint dropping, I don't see how that came to be such a common thing, because it seems to be really common, like common enough that some girl's screaming about it on social media, complaining about people not understanding hints. And people sometimes will think that I'm hinting because I'm such a direct person, and they'll think that I'm hinting when I'm not. So they'll be looking for meaning in my directness, that meaning that's not there. So like I was just thinking the other day, I was telling my boyfriend, like, oh, there's Demon Slayer movie coming out, and I always give way too many details. So I'm like telling him like what day it comes out and blah blah blah, and then it's going to be on Netflix. That was my point, was it will eventually make it to Netflix soon-ish. Which is where I will watch it, because I probably won't go sit in the theater and watch it because they're always too cold. So I'm just gonna wait till I watch it on Netflix. But I was just excited that the next season was out. Was coming out, and I thought, oh crap, I hope he didn't think that I was hinting at him taking me to the movies to see that, because I don't want to go watch it in the theater. I want to watch it at home on Netflix. I'm much more comfortable doing that. I don't hate movie theaters or anything. It's just like, it does seem like they're really cold. But if I really wanted to watch it, I'd go watch it by myself. But anyway, he has been with people in the past who hinted their needs and wants and stuff, and so he had to look for those kinds of things, and so did I. So I'm looking for hints in his subtle hints in his behavior about things, like, what's he want, what's going on in his mind, because I'm just even though it's been years, I'm still like scarred from those interactions, and still a little on edge, that thinking that something like that I'm gonna miss it, and that it's gonna affect my relationship, because I'm missing hints continuously. And I think he knows that I don't like hint dropping and that I don't drop hints, but I know that there are also people who will say one thing and do another, so you never know. But anyway, I was just thinking about the old hint dropping thing, and I hate it. I don't want to participate in it. And I think it's immature and passive aggressive. And I wish people wouldn't do it. I wish that they'd be direct. Um, yeah. Just add that to my wish list. I guess that's all I've got for tonight.